Hi, everybody, and welcome to another episode of This Witch is Viral, episode number 7. This was supposed to be released last week, but I went on holiday, which was fantastic until I got back and was totally sick, lost my voice, had a lot of sinus stuff happening. So nobody wants to listen to that as a host. So I spared you all of that, and I'm now releasing this episode this week instead. So today we have the lovely and awesome Kim Stapleton, who is the owner of KS Fitness. She is also my fitness instructor and kicks my ass on a regular basis, whether I like it or not. How are you, Kim?
You're coming here shortly, actually, today.
I am. I know. It's like, I like it. I enjoy it. I enjoy the challenge. And you are certainly one that gives us a challenge. So, yeah. So you've had your business now for how many years?
7 years here at my home studio in Canfitpro.
Yeah. And so what made you want to start a fitness studio? And tell me a little bit about your fitness studio, because I will tell you about a year and a half ago, I'll just share my personal story of finding you. So we are both in the same area, and I was going through a really rough go with my my physical body, my like emotionally, spiritually, mentally, all of these things. And I'm like, I really need to step up my game because I wasn't feeling good about myself. So this was about a year and a half ago. I had just broken my ankle, which sucked. And as soon as I got the go ahead from my doctor to be able to kind of exercise again, I came looking for you. And funny enough, I found you through Carrie, who owns Pure Lotus and has been on This Witch is Viral a couple of times. Also a dear friend of mine, because it's really, I mean, we have such an amazing community around here of empowering each other. So she said, go see Kim. Kim's amazing. And so almost a year and a half later now, and I've never felt physically stronger. So yeah, so thank you for that. I just wanted to share that with you. You've made such an impact on my life, and it's nice to see my abs again. And I thank you for that. So, so tell me, like, so what made you want to start this business? Is that why, like the impact that you make on others, or?
Yeah, I'll give a really quick backstory. When I was younger, I started taking aerobics and I fell in love with it to the point that I wanted to teach it. So around the age of 18, I became an aerobics instructor, Aqua step aerobics. And I did that for 6 years. And then I fell into my career that I'm in now. And I stepped away from teaching because I ended up taking my career all over the province. Only in the last, 12 years now, I've picked this back up again. In 2012, I was in a motorcycle accident and I had everything wrong with me that I had to have surgery and rehab, you name it. And I hired myself a personal trainer. So through that personal trainer, I was able to step on stage. I went all the way from not being able to walk or squat to bodybuilding show. I took myself all the way to as far as I could. Out of that, I was motivated again to teach. So I got my credentials back under my belt. I'm a group instructor and personal trainer through Canfitpro. And through that, I have also specialized in different things such as spin instructor, Aqua fitness, pregnancy fitness, active aging adults. And then when my husband and I moved here, I wanted to open my own studio in my house rather than going out and teaching in the community because I still have my other job. Plus, I wanted to have it here. So saying that, I am now up to around 138 participants.
Wow.
And my class is going each week. So yeah.
Wow. That's absolutely amazing. So that's quite an inspiring story. And I didn't know the background of your motorcycle accident. I knew that you had gotten into a motorcycle accident, but I didn't know like literally the impact of that and how like that's wild that you couldn't even walk, and then being able to like go from that all the way to opening up your business and finding a trainer and being inspired to, you know, create your own fitness business. I think that's really amazing. So, you know, that absolutely is very inspiring. But so just to kind of talk a little bit about, like, that would have been such a challenging time. So talking about smaller challenges and smaller steps, and also talking about, you know, we just had a new year in January. It's now March. And a lot of people have resolutions, or they go into the new year, myself included, and it's like, I'm going to do this, 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 and this. And you get all gun ho and all excited. And then March rolls around. And I know a lot of people, and myself, even personally, just coming back from vacation for a couple of weeks, I've been only to the gym once, literally in 3 weeks. And I'm like kicking my own ass right now. I'm like, Nina, get your shit together. So how do you do that? Like, how do you stay on top of those resolutions? How would you, one step at a time, how do you do that?
I made a couple notes here because I know you're going to ask me this question. Some things I think, I'll say consistency is key, and people are sick of hearing that, but really it is something that we need to sit down and say to ourselves, what can I realistically do every week? You're not going to join a class or a sport or take on running if it's not something you can physically do, and you have to love it as well. So that's important. Find something that you love. How many times a week can you do it? Is it realistic? On top of that, it has to be something that's challenging. So of course, walking is perfect in so many ways, but does it challenge you? Or if you go to a boot camp class, does it challenge you? So finding those classes that challenge you, doing it with friends or your spouse or your children. And oddly enough, I always tell my fitness participants, make sure you have comfortable clothing. Comfortable clothing, shoes, things like that will just make it that much more enjoyable. And again, back to the whole beginning of setting yourself up for success.
I think too, it's hard for some people to commit that time to themselves because they're so used to putting that time into others and putting others first. Like, so I'm speaking, I mean, even for myself, sometimes I find that, well, it works with the classes for me because I find there's accountability. And I know if I'm canceling a class, I'm taking a space away from somebody else. So I look at it that way. But I feel like a lot of people just go, oh, okay, well, I have 8.2 million things to do. And then it's like they almost choose their self last, or it's almost like the first thing to go is like, oh, I don't need to go to class today, or I don't need to go out for a walk today. So it's like, also, I find like choosing yourself, just like you did when you were rehabilitating yourself after your accident. Like you consistently chose to choose yourself.
Yeah, I agree. Sometimes I'll tell my participants that are struggling to sit down every Sunday and write down or book in the classes that they can handle. Or if you're like, I can get there once this week, but I can go for a run Tuesday morning, and Thursday night I can go for a walk. You have it in your calendar. It's your schedule. You would not miss your hair appointment if it was in your calendar. So,
Right.
so self up for that consistency again.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
No, but it's so true. So yeah, I'm just trying to think of like, because I've exercised my whole entire adult life, and I'm just trying to think of like what makes it different exercising at your place as opposed to the things that I've done in the past, because I feel like there's been a really big shift, and I feel like physically I'm the strongest I've ever been. And I think a lot of that, well, obviously you have a very nurturing environment, but you also, I find, have a way of meeting people where they are. So I know I've had a lot of physical issues. I've had hip surgery. I've broken my knee. I've broken my ankle. I'm pretty much like a robot at this point. No, but anyways, and you always have a way of like nurturing that, and just making sure too that like, if there's modifications that need to be made, you're okay with that, right? So I think a lot of people are scared to even go into a gym because they're like, I physically can't do this.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, for myself, like I often will design a class or program, and I've had it happen numerous times in my career where someone will walk in and they're like, I'm not jumping today, or I can't use my arm today. So wow, all of a sudden I have to come up with something completely different. There's so many modifications, and I have all the equipment to throw at a person to modify or to make it more intense. So I actually just taught a class. It's called Rise, and it's for adults, and most of my participants are 55 to 80 years old. So in that class, I have a huge range of fitness levels. So that one makes me work. I really have to be on my toes for who can do what and how to not center someone out if they're having that issue or modification needed. So yeah.
Yeah, because I think that's been part of my issue in group classes previously that I've taken. I'm thinking even like back into my early 20s, which was many moons ago now. Won't say how many, but and I feel like I was centered out quite a bit in a lot of those classes, or I just felt stupid or embarrassed. And I find that your classes aren't like that, which is amazing. And that's another reason why I keep going, because nobody wants to go feeling, to feel embarrassed or ashamed of their fitness level, right? So you talk about small steps to take towards building a healthy lifestyle, and just those small steps being, consistency is key. So are there some other suggestions? I know you had talked about maybe finding like a partner to do fitness with, and you talked about variety.
Yeah, and I think everyone would know and already agree with this, that rest and recovery, self-care is one piece of the pie chart. And then the third piece of the pie chart would be your nutrition. So that could be a whole other podcast that we talk about some, because I think everybody knows you could go on for hours on each topic. But if you can get all three of those to fit together perfectly in your day, then you're going to see change in your body. And that could be where you're at right now, Nina. You've got it all figured out and change is starting to happen.
I don't have it all figured out.
Yeah, well, I've different points in my life where, sleep just isn't working for me, but I still got my fitness and my nutrition going.
Yeah.
I don't see much of a change in my body. But from an instructor's viewpoint, I've seen so many people come through my doors that have so many changes. It's awesome from my eyes.
Well, and you do, yes, which is awesome for sure. But you do like accountability groups too. So we have talked about, and I've been a part of those previously, and you talk a lot about it's not just fitness and it's not just rest and recovery, but you also talk like, what are some other things? Obviously, water intake. Like, how much water should we be drinking a day?
Yeah, nutritional, it varies person by person. So, I can't say how much water you should drink because it'll depend on your body weight, your body fat, what your output is for fitness, what other fluids are you drinking. So it's kind of more of an individual thing. So that's that SMART group that you're talking about, the accountability group, stuff like that. I talk about your target training zone for your fitness. And then we break down what's realistic in a week and also what's too much. I do have some fitness participants that will do too much fitness or not enough and expect to see change. So I go through all that sort of stuff in that group.
Okay. So I want to know your opinion on cheat days. So
Cheat day.
this is what I want to know, because I've like gotten to the point now where I'm like, okay, I'm going to be good all week. And then Friday night, I'm like, I'm eating something I shouldn't be eating. But then, yeah, what are your thoughts on cheat days?
Yeah. And again, the professional answer is it varies person by person. But what if you picked Friday to be your cheat day every week and Friday came and you just don't feel like having a cheat day? Or what if Tuesday accidentally becomes your cheat day that week, but you're like, I still have Friday. So it really has to be set up for you to be successful, whether it's having a cheat day a week. Some people like to follow a program. Some people count their carbs. It's completely what works for you. And I always not to stress their body. So if you're in a stress state, you're not going to see change.
I was just looking for permission to eat McDonald's, but okay.
What's the one thing? Fork to foot, foot to fork. So your input versus your output.
Wait, explain that. Foot to fork and fork to foot?
Yeah. So whatever you put in your mouth, what is your input versus how active are you versus what calories are you taking in?
So if I burn every Friday like 8 million calories, then I can eat McDonald's, is what you're telling me. That's what I get from that.
Okay, deal.
So we talked a little bit about keeping resolutions and how to do that. What about vacations? Because like I said, I just came back from vacation. It was amazing. I felt good going into vacation. Vacation hits, and then I'm eating all kinds of crap. Well, it was very good food. I went to Aruba, and there's a lot of seafood and things like that, but it's still food I'm not necessarily used to. It's also I'm not gonna like there was some drinking to be done. So, we had a good time. And then I was like, I'm gonna work out while I'm on vacation. No, I didn't.
Nope.
So no, like I did a lot of walking. We went hiking and walked to the beach and all these things. But for those people that want to kind of stay in routine, would you say work out during your holiday or?
I would say if you're wanting to do fitness, maybe find something different. Like maybe you're doing Aquafit, or maybe you run along the beach, or you rent a bike. So something totally different. And it also gives
Yeah.
any issues in your body a break. So if you constantly have a shoulder injury and can't get a week off is good. And it also sets your mind. You look forward to coming back to fitness. I know when my husband and I go away, we always do something, and just whatever happens to be that day.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So I guess it all depends. Yeah. We did a lot of hiking. Like we hiked a mountain when we were there. There was a lot of steps. Steps hurt. I was like, this is so hard. But it was good. It felt good too. And it was a different experience because I'm not doing a lot of that here in Ontario. I was hiking mountains. So yeah, so that was a lot of fun. Awesome. So did you want to just tell me a little bit more? So you talked a little bit about your services and you talked about some of the classes that you offer. But did you want to just delve into that a little bit more? Is your business for everybody, like all ages?
Yes, I have men and women. My youngest is 19 right now. My oldest is 84. I have people that are recovering from surgery. I have 2 pregnant ladies right now. I have people I could line up across the room going shoulder injury, back, neck, and that's modifications come in, or me as a coach knowing what they can and cannot do. Saying that, there's a variety of classes. I teach spin. I teach a spin circuit style class. I teach step aerobics, which a lot of people are falling in love with.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure, but I have no coordination. My face would be on that ground so fast. I have no coordination. It's terrible.
I keep it basic so people can try it. I teach a stability ball, Bozu, and TRX class. That one's all body weight. I teach just a circuit class, which is like a boot camp. Another popular one is called Tempo. It's all weights. You can actually see it in the background there, the bars. So we do weights. You take the exercise and you slow it right down. Come July and August, I'll be teaching Aquafit in Canfitpro at the pool.
Oh, really? That's awesome. Yes, we did that last year too, and I never made it out. But is it going to be at 7 o'clock in the morning again?
No, I'm gonna have to schedule probably within the next month, and I'll really hoping it's not that early in the morning because it was a little chilly, but once we got in the water, it was good.
Yeah, I'm a big fat baby though. I can't help. I'm a baby. So, actually, I have another question for you. Not to interrupt, but just for a second. When you go to work out, does it matter what time of day you work out?
I've had that question proposed to me so many times. If a person is just getting by each week by barely getting their workouts in, I would say definitely do it when it works for you. I have done triathlons and bodybuilding shows, and I always found early morning worked for me best, because that was my best energy output.
Yeah.
People always ask questions too, like, should I eat before I come? Should I not eat? I've had people eat during class. So it really depends on what works for you. I'm more than happy to chat one-on-one after class or over text message when people have those kind of questions too.
Okay.
Answer your question, but
yeah, no, that's good. I mean, everybody's so different, and I find that so often it's like, I don't know, society almost tries to put you in this like little box and kind of label everybody the same, and not just with fitness, but with a lot of different things. People are different, needs are different. And I just find it's hard. Like sometimes I'll Google, like, when should I work? Like, you just, I don't know. It's better to just go to the professional, which is you, right? So, or another fitness professional, but you're my go-to.
Yeah. And in the perfect world, you know, if a person could get up, have breakfast, do their fitness, have their day and have perfect sleep and be able to make all their meals perfectly, that would be ideal, but we don't. So if you can fit a class in Tuesday morning and Thursday night, and that's the only time, then that's, yeah. Or a walk. Again, I'm not here to, you know, push everybody to come to my gym. It's
Yeah.
just being active. I have some people that come here literally once a month. I have some people that could come every single day if I was open. So
Yes, I know some of those people. One particular person comes to mind who I love dearly. And she's wild and crazy, and she inspires me in the gym.
yes, every
Yeah. So did you want to just plug your socials a little bit? I know that you're on Facebook. What's the best way for people to get a hold of you if they'd like to?
yeah, I'm kind of old fashioned. I just have Facebook. I am also like I have a website. You can look at all my classes, all the definitions. You can see the times. That's www.ksfit.ca. And my Facebook is KS Fitness Kimberly Stapleton, or you can always text me. It's 613-402-1665.
And you are in Kemptville area, just outside of Kemptville, and all of your classes are offered in person, correct?
That's right. And it's in my home studio. I totally forgot to mention that part. This is in my house. I host 8 people per class. And it's in my basement. I've totally taken over the whole basement here. So
Yes, it's an awesome basement. It's a great space. There are lots of pieces of equipment, and a lot of variety in your fitness classes. And I think that that's also too why I enjoy your classes so much, is because of the variety. Because I have the brain of like a squirrel, so I'm like all over the place. So I enjoy like the variety. I get bored very easily. So if you're looking for that, then definitely check out KS Fitness. Thank you
I don't
so
know if I can
much.
do a little.
Yes, please do. And next
Some of
time
my equipment
we do
there.
this, we'll have to do this in person, and maybe we can like sit on the balls or something. But yeah, it's an awesome space. Oh,
All
there's
my
Bob.
spin bikes. There's Bob.
There's Bob. We love Bob. We kick the crap out of him. Poor Bob.
There's my TRXs and the whole space down there.
This is what I'm going to be doing in about half an hour, because I'll be heading over there for the class to get my
thanks,
bike.
Nita.
Yes,
That's
thank you
great.
so much. Thank you everyone for watching another episode of This Witch is Viral. As usual, you can find me on YouTube. I will also be on Spotify very, very soon, just getting those episodes loaded. I now have a Spotify account for podcasters, which is fantastic. You can find me on Facebook under Nina DeBoss. And you can also find me on my other Facebook, my other Instagram, which is Nina DeBoss 111. That's amazing. I love it. Good old, and Bob's all dressed up for St. Patty's Day.
I know. Hilarious.
Yeah. Awesome. Cheers. Well, thanks so much, and I'll see you soon. I got to go put on my fitness attire.
Okay.
All right. Thanks, Kim. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.
Yeah, bye.
Bye. And the record. My mouse is back at least. There. Recording. Stop.